Namaste. My name is Ariela Halevi, and I am a master healer and co founder of Soul Centered. And I just wanted to talk to you today a little bit about myself so you can get to know me and a little bit about my story. When I was about 25, I had an awakening that I really didn't know I was going to have, nor did I ask to have. I was at a synagogue in Los Angeles and I sat in the front row when my mother was bat mitzvahed, which is a ceremony of kind of a passage of becoming an adult, even though she was far into her adult years. She had a late bat mitzvah, and it was just eye opening. And it was all about source, God, whatever you call it, spirit. It was just this whole ceremony was about connecting her soul to source and to live a better life, a happier life. And from then on, I jumped in and I was a whole yes, a whole body yes, really believing that the antidote to some of the pain that I experienced as a younger child was source and love. And I wanted to feel that in my whole being and my whole body and my soul. And so from then on, I had a number of awakenings as I learned to listen to the still small voice within me. I opened to source energy. I shed a lot of limiting beliefs back then, and I still do now. We all do. We're not perfect. But from then, I have guided thousands of women to really explore who they are as a soul and their connection to source. For the next 15 years, I not only had 4 children, but also married my soulmate and just built a beautiful life, and also built communities with my husband, spiritual communities, both in Des Moines, Iowa, and Boston. And I discovered my ability to heal myself from different ailments and to listen and act from my intuition. So in my early 20s, it was a lot about connecting to source and healing and remembering that I was whole. And then as my journey continued, it was this deeper knowledge of my intuition and connecting to my guides and really finding a deeper internal peace. When I moved to Israel, it was an awakening that I didn't experience living on a mountaintop, experiencing a lot more silence and releasing our belongings. Most of the things that we moved with, we sold most of our belongings. So we moved with a very small amount of luggage and really started a different life on this mountaintop in the middle of Israel. And it was a deeper awakening than I've ever had. Why? Because there was so much silence. And you don't have to journey to the ends of the earth to find silence. I did. But it was this moment where I could hear clearly not only the voice of my soul calling to me, but the voice of my ancestors. It was like I created so much silence in my life that my ancestors had space to call upon me to heal on a deeper level and to introduce me to healing others in a different way. So this was my awakening. When I returned to the States, I moved to Denver, Colorado, in order to be closer to my mother, who was dying of cancer in Los Angeles. Unfortunately, she did pass shortly after I moved here. And what I found as I helped her transition to the next world was that our ancestors, our spirit guides, and our loved ones are waiting with open arms to not only help us transition, but also to help us live. And so I've really dedicated my life and my healing practice to helping women find their connection to source and spirit, guides, your divine team, and heal those ancestral wounds that pain you. Our ancestors bring us so many wonderful resources, and they also bring about a lot of ruptures. And so my work consists of helping you remember that you are whole, that no matter what has happened to you, you are whole and you are already healed. We just need a little bit of guidance to help us remember that wholeness. And I have worked with hundreds of women now to help them heal from their past and make energetic shifts in their body and their present life, and to repair their future for their descendants, for their legacy, to help heal the world one soul at a time. And I look forward to getting to know you and to hear more about your story. Namaste.